Wow, I remember the days when I was able to just go to someone's house and enjoy the Christmas feast they created and only worry about bringing maybe one dish. Since food allergies, I've been forced to learn how to make full meals by myself. I now cook special family meals for Christmas Eve, Christmas dinner, and sometimes New Year's Eve and Christmas morning brunch too. At first, it was hard. I didn't know the timing of foods. I didn't have a flow, which meant there were a few holidays when I thought we would eat around 5, but ended up eating around 8 p.m. instead. Yikes. Not to mention all the time I spent in the kitchen. For a while, it felt like I was bonding more with my kitchen than with my family during one of the most important celebrations of the year. This is why I knew something had to change, and I needed to come up with a plan. So over the years, I've tried new things and focused on what's worked the previous year, and I got rid of what didn't. What I do now has evolved over the last 17 years, and I feel like I've got a system down pat. Now I can enjoy my family during the holidays instead of being chained to the kitchen. Let me tell you, if I can do it, so can you, with the help of what I've learned over the years. So today we're talking about my best tips for planning and cooking all those big holiday meals. Plus, if you listen to the end, I'm going to answer some of your most burning questions that you told me were the most stressful for you when it comes to hosting and prepping allergy-friendly meals during the holidays. Let's get to it. Hey, food allergy mama. If you're here, you've likely experienced the scary and lonely food allergy diagnosis with your child. Unfortunately, food allergy parents aren't taught how to navigate the food allergy lifestyle, and it's easy to feel alone and discouraged sometimes. But I'm here to show you that food allergy life doesn't have to feel restrictive, scary, or isolated. I'm Karina, and I'm a 17-year food allergy mom and food allergy coach at Friendly Pantry Consulting. I specialize in making food allergy life safer and less worrisome for food allergy families like yours. I'm not perfect, but over 17 years, I've learned a lot the hard way, and I'm sharing the secrets and resources you won't hear anywhere else that will help you feel confident living with food allergies faster and easier than I did. From introducing allergens, travel, navigating school, and educating friends and family, this podcast will give you the essential tips and strategies you need to help your food allergy child and family thrive. Welcome to the show. Say goodbye to the stress of navigating holiday celebrations, birthday parties, and play dates with food allergies. The Social Event Survival Pack is an all-in-one solution that empowers you to make social events safer, more inclusive, and more importantly, worry-free. After 17 years, I've learned the hard way about what not to say about food allergies. You don't have to go through the years of frustration and worries because this comprehensive template pack takes the guesswork out of educating others about your child's needs. These polished, easy-to-use templates help you explain food allergies with confidence, no awkwardness, frustration, and no guilt. Skip the trial and error of figuring it out and embrace a resource that helps you set boundaries with grace, keep your child safe, and ensure they can enjoy making friends and having fun. It's not just templates. It's your ticket to peace of mind. Go to friendlypantry.com/social to learn more. Okay, so the first tip I have for hosting Christmas dinners and parties is a big one, and I really didn't get this right away. So I really want to go over this first, and it is never ever try to make an entire holiday meal the day of or the day before the event without pre-making some dishes. I learned this the hard way. Cooking all your food at the time of the event means spending hours and hours cooking when all you really want to be doing is puzzles, watching Christmas movies, or skating with the family. No matter how much you enjoy cooking, this is just not the most ideal time to do it. And here's the thing that surprised me the most. Did you know that you can make almost everything in advance? You can freeze it and then warm it in the oven on the day of. The only thing I will usually make on the day of the event is the turkey and the gravy, because cooking right before an event is stressful. There's so much that needs to be done, and there's a time limit. So don't be like me at the beginning where I ended up getting dinner ready 3 hours past the time I had invited everyone to come. It was not my best moment. Tip number 2 for cooking with food allergies in the holidays is to make the same thing every single year. I clued into this a few years back. By making the same thing every year, my kids started to get used to the dishes I created, and it gave a sense of tradition and anticipation. I also noticed that my kids started to like dishes they originally would have nothing to do with it. Like, my kids really didn't like my absolute favorite, which was stuffing or dressing. By making the same thing every year, you start to get really good at making it, and each year they turn out better and better until your meal becomes somewhat of a masterpiece. Not only that, but you start to get faster because you're so used to making it. And this is exactly what you need during this busy time. Tip number 3 is to decide what you're going to pre-make. As I mentioned, scheduling and planning are key, and I usually like to start to think about our Christmas meal around Canadian Thanksgiving, which is in October. I usually make stuffing for Thanksgiving, so I just double or triple the amount I make and freeze the rest for Christmas. Yes, the stuffing will freeze that long and still tastes amazing. I know this because I do it every year, and I'm known for making the best stuffing. The key here is to figure out what will freeze well and choose your recipes accordingly. Then decide what you need to make on the day of. For example, the turkey always needs to be cooked on the day of the event, where mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes can be made in advance and frozen or put in the fridge. I always choose dishes that I know will freeze well so I don't have to stress so much. Tip number 4 is to create the time in your schedule now and block it off. So now that you've decided on your menu and what you can pre-make, add those dishes to your weekly meal plans and schedule them in advance. Block the time in your calendar to make sure it gets done. Cooking one extra dish here and there is way easier than trying to cook six dishes in one day. Tip number 5 is ask friends and family to bring basic food or non-food items. So I know that it can be really expensive to make a big celebration meal like a Christmas dinner. To offset the costs, I ask friends and family to bring non-food items or items that can be easily made allergy-friendly. For example, festive napkins, Christmas gift crackers, sparkling juice, or wine for the adults. This helps with costs, but it also helps friends and family get over the fact that they don't need to bring food. They feel like they're helping out, and you're still able to control the food and the environment for your little one too. Cooking a big holiday meal like Christmas dinner isn't as hard as you think with these 5 time management and organization tips, even if you've never done it before. And next, I want to make sure I answer all those burning questions you sent me when it comes to hosting Christmas dinner and other Christmas parties. The first question was, how do you deal with everyone asking what to bring? So first, people want to help. And even though that question to a food allergy mom can feel really loaded and stressful, it's just something that they think they need to do or really want to do. And so you could ask them to bring non-food items like napkins or a special table centerpiece, or even maybe their favorite game so everyone can play. Another option is to ask them to bring a very simple allergy-friendly item like drinks or something else that works for your family. Remember that it's important to talk about this specifically in the invite. Be very clear. Let them know that your child has food allergies, and so it's safer for you to take care of all of the food. By putting this right in the invite, it will limit the number of people showing up with a plate of unsafe squares on the day of the event. And that actually leads right into question number 2, which was, it's stressful when people show up with a plate of goodies that my child can't eat and not knowing how to say no without being rude. So I think a big part of this is education before the event and telling people not to bring goodies and why. I had a lot of success by telling people in the actual invite. So if you still get somebody bringing something, I would accept it with graciousness and then simply not put it out. I would just put it somewhere where my child couldn't get into it and hope the person who brought it doesn't notice. Honestly, with everyone visiting, they likely won't say anything. And if they do, you could just say that I'll talk to you later about it. Then you can give them the plate back and let them know that you appreciate the thought, but you couldn't put it out because it wasn't safe for your child. I think doing this one-on-one with a person rather than during the event when the whole thing is happening can save a lot of face and help both of you to communicate better. So it is important to talk to them about it later if at all possible. Question number 3 is, I hate repeatedly explaining my son's allergies to people who know his allergies. It's exhausting. I really get this. Constantly telling people about your son's allergies is repetitive and frustrating. But here's the thing, people need reminders. We live in a super busy world, and if people don't live with food allergies every day, they need to hear about it again and again. Remember, that can be true of things other than food allergies too. I used to get really frustrated with the grandparents who just didn't seem to get food allergies and would need to be reminded over and over. But now, as I get older, I realize that I also don't remember things as well as I used to. I find myself asking my teens about things over and over, and they get really frustrated. And I try to remind them that my brain doesn't remember things as well as it used to. It's just a part of aging. So now I've softened my view a bit, and I encourage you to give grace, especially to those of the older generation, because they may not be trying to be annoying or frustrating. It's just where they are at in life. And now I'm not trying to make excuses for people who are truly being difficult, but I just want to give you that other point of view in case you never thought of it before. If you prepare yourself to be repetitive and also prepare yourself with reasons why they're having trouble, it's going to help you with your mindset. Again, I try and avoid having the conversation at the actual event by sending an email or text beforehand. And I also make sure to put it into every RSVP I send as well. My social event survival pack can help with this because there's templates for that. Use every opportunity, especially the ones before the event, to explain allergies again. So what do you think? Do you cook big holiday meals, or is this something you're going to try? If so, what tip are you going to try from today? Let me know by sending me a message on Instagram to @friendlypantry. Also, if this podcast helped you in any way, please leave a 5-star review. This is one of the only ways I know if it impacted you, and it also helps other food allergy families find it as well. Thanks for listening, and bye for now. Before you go, Mama, if you love this episode and want deeper support, head over to friendlypantry.com to see how we can partner together to keep your food allergy child safer and worry less. There's no need for wasting time searching all over Instagram, TikTok, and the web to get the practical knowledge you need for your family. While you're there, grab your free Food Allergy Kids Empowerment Guide or the newly diagnosed checklist today. Topics are not medical advice and are the opinions, views, and property of Friendly Pantry Consulting Incorporated. All rights reserved. Always contact your board-certified allergist, immunologist for health advice.